Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. Today we're going to do a super easy Christmas card. Lovely traditional colours of garden green and cherry cobbler. And we're going to be using the Joyful Holly stamp set. And the featuring, if you look, this paper here, this is from 'Tis the Season designer series paper. So we've got some supplies. I've got card base, an envelope, and my supplies here. You can see that I'm using one of the different designs from the paper pack, and I am going to use it. I'm going to use the green. The red is really pretty, but the green is going to have more of a contrast and an impact. So let's make a start on what we're going to do here. I am going to get some grid paper out so that I don't get my work surface messy. Fold my piece of cardstock in half, making sure that the corners are right. I normally would work with a score, but I wanted to show you that you don't really need to have score. You can simply fold it in half. And if you don't have a bone folder, you can always use a pair of paper scissors to get a nice fold in there. Okay, so my first stamping is I'm going to do tone on tone. So I'm using two kinds of ink, and I'm using garden green card and garden green ink. And I am just going to use that, gently stamp. I'm just going to gently and randomly stamp on the card base just to cover. And I'm not looking for any sort of formal pattern. I'm just looking to try and get as much ink as I can on my card. And maybe I'll just put a little one there like that. So there's our base card. And then inside, I like to put a layer inside to do my writing on. And I'm just going to take the other stamp. Now, this is the outline stamp for the holly leaves. And I'm just going to put a cute little curly piece there. And I always decorate my envelopes. And so I'm going to pop this one, and I'm going to make sure it's the right way up. And I'm just going to put a nice little curly Q there. And then my little strip. Now this is like 4 inches by 1 1/4, I think. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stamp, first of all, I'm going to stamp my greeting. And that way I know how much room, and I'm just, there we go, opening up my ink pad. And I'm not going to close it completely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it closed to a degree, and then I'm going to leave a little piece hanging off the end, and that's going to be my little handle that I can then pull it out with in a moment. So I'm going to start with my greeting. And I've chosen, this is from the same stamp set, I've chosen to use the one that says, may your season be merry and bright. And I'm going to stamp that toward the right hand end of my card. And then once I've done that, I know how much space I've got to put my lovely curly holly leaves. So if I'd done my holly leaves first, and then I might not have just left enough for my greetings, room for my greetings. And then there's another stamp set, another stamp in the set that's got the holly berries, and it's got, they're joined, so there's a 3 and a 1, and when you look, there's like a 3 and a 1. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the cherry cobbler ink, And I'm just going to line up. If I get my head in, I apologise profusely. I'm just going to, best as I can, I'm going to line up the 3 down here with the 1 up there. Well, that's not bad, but it doesn't matter that it's not exactly lined up. It doesn't matter. And then there's a single one here because the other one would be up here, which obviously is off the card. So I'm just going to line it up. And I'm just lining it up because these are clear stamps. It's really easy to do, to line everything up and stamp. Now, I think that is all my stamping. So I'm going to close up my inks. I do have a habit of getting my finger in them and then messing up my work. So then I have my, you see, look, I've got ink on the back of that, but that doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see that. And I'm going to layer on. Now, the cherry cobbler piece is 1.5 by 4. So they're roughly the same length. And I'm just going to smoosh it up a little bit, make sure I've got a good length. Now, you may find that it's a tiny bit long. It's not always easy to cut the card exactly, but if you've got a little bit of white showing, you can trim it off there. Oh, I've managed to move it. But there we are. That's the benefit of using the liquid ink. So that's that part here. And then I'm going to take my designer series paper. And as I said, I am going to make sure that it's the green side, and it's looks like mistletoe. And then I'm going to line up the edges like that, tiny smidge more. And I don't know if you can see, but I can. There is a tiny little overlap there. So I'm just going to get my paper snips and just use the edge of my card, and I've just lost that extra piece. I'm going to get rid of my paper now, and I'm going to be working on my bench. So my next step is I'm going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of this, and I always like to put one in the middle. Now, I've used up all the hexagonals, so I'm going to start using the middle part of the edges, because they're sticky too. And I'm just going to add them to the back of the other panel. And again, I am going to put one in the middle because that's quite a long strip there. All right, so I am going to start by putting this panel down. Now, the card base is 4¼ inches, and this is 4. So I'm gonna have a little margin, border, whatever you'd like to call it, on the side. And then we take the backing off of here. There we go. And making sure I got my greeting the right way up. I mean, that has happened to me before now. I get carried away and realise I've put it upside down. So I'm going to line up these 2 edges here, and it should be the same. And now when I'm happy that it's all lined up, then I press firmly to get that to stick. Then I've got my piece that's going to go inside. Now this is where you're going to write your greeting, and when I'm using dark card, I always put a liner inside. There we go. And then my final flourish, as I call it, which I know is here somewhere because I had them a moment ago, is my red rhinestones. And would you believe, oh, there they are, the wretched things disappeared on me. So we've already got our lovely red berries, and so I'm going to just give them a little bit of extra bling, and I'm just going to randomly dot. I think I'm going to probably do, I don't want to go too crazy, so I think I'm just going to put 3 on there like that, and then along with my envelope, and we have a really pretty Christmas card in lovely traditional colours. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my page, my channel, and then you'll be notified every time I post a new video. Thanks for joining me today. Bye bye now.